No, what I wanted to talk about today to start off the stream, you guys saw it in the title. We're gonna be doing a Dr. Disrespect VOD review, but I don't want it to be sleeper. Okay, we're just gonna watch Dr. Disrespect and to discuss some things. He's had some takes on the game in the past. If you watch when he first started playing the game, he was kind of he didn't like it, and that's what he's gonna talk about in this clip that I have booted up right here. I'll just let him give his take right here at the end. Okay.
Been HT time, nice to see you late night grinding, man. It's a lot of fun. Valorant, I'm having a lot of fun. I'm having a lot of fun because, again, it's one of those games where it's... Trust me, we hated Valorant. Right when it came out, I didn't like it. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't like it. I really didn't like anything about it.
I don't know why he turns up the music right here. Like, from a streaming perspective, I'm just like, dude, I'm trying to listen to his take.
Changed. I mean, I feel like once we get past that initial wall and we're tapped in, it's like it's a very true playing chess. We're playing chess with guns. This is what we're doing here. Are they gonna use that? Are they gonna use this? Are we gonna counter that? Are we gonna, like, and it's very fast paced in that sense of thinking, and then hitting your shots on top of that. Obviously, we're figuring that entire package out and understanding it and starting to appreciate it.
And that's what I love, is that, like, anybody who hangs out on my channel, you know, I've equated Valorant to chess in some regards. I think Valorant is kind of a beautiful game sometimes. Like, the different tactics that you can do when it's played at, like, the top tier level, it's actually, like, really cool to watch. I love watching the tournaments, seeing the plays that they do. I think that's something I would say is, like, to an extent, playing, like, lower ranks, even in Diamond, it doesn't feel like playing, like, chess sometimes. And when I was going through Dr. Disrespect's games, a lot of the times I was like, I don't know if I would call this chess. But, no, he does, he's actually not terrible at the game. So, like, the kind of meme is that, like, he always says, like, he's like, oh, I'm a Radiant player. I'm a moral level player in Bronze, you know? And, like, realistically speaking, he has a lot of things that he has to work on. And we're going to talk about some of those things just to help you guys improve. But I think another thing is just that, like, I don't think he's Bronze. I don't think he is. I think that's just how Valorant places people. Places people in a low rank, you have to climb out of it. I think if Doc keeps playing, I think he hits gold, platinum pretty fast, dude. And there are a couple, like, very blatant things that I was going to comment on that I think that, like, just a little bit of tweaking and, like, it will help his gameplay a ton. So we're going to get into that. If you guys are watching this on YouTube, subscribe to the channel down below. Check us out on Twitch, where we have all these lovely people. And yeah, let's get into it. I have a couple of clips saved up here from just to, like, make things timely for you guys. I don't like to waste your guys' time, right? So whenever I do these VOD reviews, I normally timestamp stuff for myself just so I can go through it. So it's going to be some basic things. If you guys don't know who I am, I'm like a D2 player. I've done a lot of different VOD reviews and stuff like that. I'm not a phenomenal player myself. I'm all right. But, like, I think that I have a very, like, analytical approach at looking at some of these things. So hopefully I can provide some sort of value to that. The first thing I think I'm commenting on right here is, like, I do love these, like, these crazy plays that are going on throughout the game. These, like, smokes and stuff, just like the Bronze gameplay right here that, like, you love to see. The very first thing that sticks out like a sore thumb in a lot of these rounds is just his crosshair placement. You can see it if anybody who plays at, like, a higher rank. Just, he's got to pay attention to where he's aiming right now, you know? His aim is so low most of the time, and he does end up getting a lot of kills in these ranks, but you have to keep in mind it's, like, Bronze ranks, right? So, like, if he's playing against a higher tier player, it's going to be problematic when he's aiming this low, and he's got to be aiming for the head. He's got to be aiming, like, way up here, and you're going to see this as he peeks this corner right here. He just has to adjust so much. He swings into 2 targets. He just kind of gets rolled, and it's like, it's little things like this where you just bring up your crosshair, like, slightly, man. You're going to be in way different leagues. Like, you're going to improve your play so much. I will say that crosshair placement is one of those things that we were talking about the other day, that, like, when you're starting to improve it, it's not something that feels good at the time. Sometimes it's going to feel like you're playing weirdly, you're not comfortable with it and stuff. Over time, I promise you, this is going to help your play. And he does have a concept of crosshair placement, is something I've noticed too. It's not like he has no idea what crosshair placement is. It's just he struggles, particularly when he's walking around someplace, you know, as he's moving, which is when crosshair placement can be really important. So this will be a round, for example, where I think that his crosshair placement isn't, it's not good, but you could tell that he has an understanding of it. You know, like, he's probably played with, like, better players who, like, have, like, mentioned these things. He has an understanding of the game. So you'll notice as he's approaching up, uses his utility to clear the corner, which I think is good. That's good. He forces anybody off of this angle, which forces them to back up. Now he's going to approach here. He's playing a little bit loose right now, but I mean, like, he's been pretty comfortable in this match. He knows how they play a little bit. So it's like 14 rounds into the game. He knows how they're playing. Gonna clear this. Notice where he's clearing angles. He's just not clearing them, like, at the correct height. So, like, he should be aiming a lot higher right here. He's kind of clearing in the middle of these 2 angles. If there's somebody in heaven, their head level is going to be up here, and if there's somebody below, their head level is going to be right here. So he just wants to kind of choose one of those. But notice how he does clear these spots, right? and then he finds the kill onto the Reyna. It's a good kill, but the clear could have been just a little bit cleaner right there. So that's kind of something I wanted to comment on. Comes here to push heaven. This comes down to map knowledge right here. Using utility in the open is a little bit dangerous, but this is actually a good round for him. He ends up getting a couple of kills. This is what I kind of wanted to showcase, is that like most people have an understanding of what crosshair placement is. It's just they don't really catch themselves slipping a lot of the times, you know, like they'll be walking around, and notice again his crosshair placement goes a little bit low as he's walking around, aiming at the door a little bit low. No, not that anybody's going to be there, but it's just like, it's something that you should be practicing all the time, aiming a little bit low again. And I think this is probably comes from, I heard Stroud talking about this one time when I think he was looking at the doc. He just plays a lot of battle royales, which would make complete sense. Like, yeah, when you're playing battle royales, you're looking at the ground, looking at loot a lot of the times. You're just walking all over the place, like you're staring at the ground. Where when you're playing a game like Valorant, it's a lot more necessary to keep your crosshair up all the time. So for the fact that he plays so much BR and stuff, he still plays pretty decent. He's not a terrible player by any means. He understands his utility usage too. He's very good with his wall, which I don't see a lot of Phoenixes use very often. But let's go to a different round. So this round, he's going to be making his way up middle here. Crosshair placement, pretty decent right there. He throws the molly. I kind of have a problem with this flash. It's not terrible. You notice how he peeks into the smoke, like before the flash goes off. Also, another thing to keep in mind is this flash is only going to hit anybody if they're like in the back of this smoke, because it doesn't actually clear the smoke entirely. Like it doesn't go behind it. So this flash is kind of useless unless somebody's in the smoke, which at which point, yeah, pushing smokes can be dangerous. So like maybe flashing into it is something that you maybe want to do. But I probably would have just waited for the smoke to time out and then like pushed up a little bit more. He doesn't need to full rush this at this time. And if he is going to use a flash, he's going to want to use it on the other side here so he can blind anybody as he's pushing through. So he flashes the smoke and then he just blindly walks through here. That's a very dangerous move, but he's going to flash again. This flash is actually going to hit his breach, unfortunately. That's not really his issue. He did tell the breach that he's going to flash, so I don't have a problem with that. But this is a big issue that he has a lot of the times that I've noticed. He kind of just full sprints everywhere, and he doesn't check all of his corners, and he ends up dying to his left. And he does acknowledge that that was kind of his fault. A little bit. Generally what you want is you want like a smoke right here so you can help yourself clear this corner, because obviously he can't check every single angle. He's the one in the front, so he like hopes that his team backs him up a little bit. He does have to check this corner though. There's no reason that he would just walk past market. This is a very common position for a player to play. I don't know if he heard earlier that potentially a player was a market as well. It's also possible. But generally you'll use a smoke or something so you can push up here. But also if you're the first person there, you do have to be clearing your angles. And this is a common issue that I saw with him, like a common theme. He would kind of just run around everywhere that he went. If I go earlier in this game, let's go to like right here. I want to go to the defensive half for Doc. 30. He literally just like full sprints everywhere that he goes, it feels like.
Spike planted. One enemy.
Good shots.
How about a little peek?
Heal. Phoenix heal.
No charges left.
See, he just like, he's not trying to be stealthy at all. He's just full sprinting. And like that you can kind of get away with it at a lower rank a lot of the times, because you're full sprinting into bad players, so they're not going to land their shots anyway. He's feeling confident in his aim very clearly. But it's like when you're full sprinting, you're giving out a lot of info and you make it very easy for the enemies to play against you. So a lot of the times he gets caught off guard where he's like, oh man, like that person was there. How do they know I was there? He's just sitting there. When in reality, like you can hear the person from a mile away. When you're full sprinting in from catwalk, it makes so much noise. She can hear that. She can prepare for you pushing. He throws a molly in the doorway too. That Reyna was like 120% ready for him to peek that. And he had a ton of time on the clock. The bomb's not even like, it's not even ticking at all right now. Like he could have gone heaven. He could have done so many things right here, but instead he just kind of ran in and died, which is a little unfortunate. That's something that I think this is one of his biggest things. I think he just needs to slow down a little bit. He mentioned it earlier in the game too, that he just needs to slow down, but then he continued to play really fast. Just like for players who are watching this, who maybe like they have this issue, or you're like you're in bronze, sometimes you feel like your enemies are like just killing you so easily. Stop giving them so much info to work off of. Stop just running into people. If you're full sprinting over a catwalk or every single place that you go, your enemies are going to hear that, and it's going to be really hard for you to deal with it. This was a round, however, that I like, after watching this so many times, I was just like,
Omen, take full control of this game right here.
You got to make this call, homie. They're going to run in here, and this Raze has naded this spot every single round. Killed people multiple times. Another nade comes in. They almost all, a couple of them take chip damage. The breach literally dies. And I'm just like, those are one of the things that when you're a better player than the people you're playing with, you got to make those call outs. Like, hey, Raze nades this every time. Wait for the nade, and then we'll go in. Like, losing your teammate like that just immediately is such a shitty thing. And that's not his fault. It's not his fault that the breach died to a grenade. But it's like when you're playing at these lower ranks and you want to climb to those higher ranks, those are the types of leadership things that you really need to do within the game. You can't just let your breach walk in and die to a nade. And it's like, dude, you do this every single time. It's not Doc's fault once again, but it's like, it's one of those things that he knows better. He knows the Raze has been doing this every round. He ran past the nade because he's not dumb. But like making that call for your teammate who might be dumb is probably the move in this situation. They end up winning the round. Works out great. But it's like little things like that where I'm just like, oh man, I just watched that breach die to the nade every single freaking round. She naded that like every round. I'm just like, somebody tell this man. Somebody please tell this man just to sit back. Trading in bronze. Yeah, they're playing pretty well, honestly. They do end up losing this game, unfortunately. And this is going to be a round where he's lurking a little bit. He does make a call for this round, I think.
Pick off right now.
All right, I'll cause the scene.
So he wants to cause a scene on A, and then he wants his team to go B, I believe was the play. So he's going to walk in here, doing his flash to clear off the angle. Good again. Goes for the orb. I think the Phoenix picking up orb in the overtime is actually really good. Phoenix ulti is really strong. It only costs 6 points. I don't think overtime matters. Actually, I think everybody's 3 away, but he picks up the orb. I think that's really strong on Phoenix, especially for overtime. So I don't have a problem with that. But what he's going to do, he's going to walk up here. You hear the Sage wall.
All right, let's rotate. I'll kind of flirt with this a little bit.
Makes the rotate call. He says he's going to flirt with the wall. I like this because he's creating pressure. He's occupying A main and stuff. He's making some noise. I kind of like the idea of flirting with stuff like this and just like playing around so you can keep people here. Because if his entire team's going to rotate towards B, having one player here just to maintain pressure is good. However, if you guys have seen one of my best videos, one of my #1 videos, let me go find it. Let me go figure out what it was called. Ah, yes. One of my star videos, Wall, right here. A lot of people remember it. A lot of people remember the video Wall from back in the day. This wall gives info. It's not just a wall, it's also information. And what he's not going to do is shoot down this fucking wall.
Careful mid.
You need to shoot these down. You need to. When the wall comes up, shoot it down. He's shooting. He's making noise. But it doesn't matter because there's no threat of him pushing through because there's a wall in his face. And he can't get through a wall. He's very clearly baiting is what's going on. He's very clearly just kind of making noise. Just being like, hey guys, I'm here. You know, but it doesn't matter. They just end up ignoring him. They shoot a molly here. They shoot him a smoke, which is actually more than he probably deserved for not shooting down this wall. His teammate's going to rotate B. And the enemy team is just going to all rotate. They just all rotate. Now he shoots down the wall, but it's already too late. Everyone's gone. He didn't hold anybody here. He didn't do anything this round. Unfortunately. He walks in.
You know what I mean, champ?
I don't know if he's talking about the enemy team or his team. He doesn't understand why they're rotating. He had no pressure, and he told his team to rotate. So I hope he's not talking about his team. He told them to rotate. But
I don't know why. Like why? I don't. The Sage is staring. Unfortunately, the Sage is the one that's like going like this, fucking staring.
Oh, he thinks that she's stream sniping. It's possible. It's possible that she's stream sniping. But like another point here is the one that I'm making, that there's a fucking wall in his face. He's very clearly baiting. Like, it's very clearly a bait. He's not doing anything. His team rotated A. The Sage just like, okay, well, I'm just gonna leave. You know, he's just gonna sit here. I'm just gonna leave. You know, and it's like little things like that where you just gotta be conscious of that. You just gotta, if you're gonna create pressure, but like do it effectively. Don't just sit behind a wall not doing anything for like the entire round. You know. It's little things like that. I talk about this stuff in my videos a lot though, so I hope this has been helpful for somebody. If somebody's watching this, don't rotate enemy team. Yeah, you stare at the wall. Don't rotate, guys. Don't rotate, guys. No, I think the Doc is good. There's some things that he misses out on every now and then. Sometimes he's running around. Sometimes his positioning's a little bit rough. It is kind of his personality though, and I think that like doing things like blaming his teammates, I think that's part of his stream. You know, it's like that's what he does. He's an entertainer, so he's just trying to make noise. He's trying to make people laugh and stuff. That's kind of what you do when you lose in these games, is that you just blame your teammates and then you move on to the next game. I do it as well. Overall though, yeah, I think the Doc, I think he could easily hit plat. I think he could. He just like tweak his crosshair placement a little bit. I think he'll be fine. Let's go to the clip that he posted to his Twitter here. This is a decent clip, but I think that there's also problems with this one. So Twitter quality, just give it a second. Gets a kill under the Reyna. Pretty good. Gonna be entering here. But like again, like glaring issues. He's going to plant the bomb. He hasn't even cleared B site. There's somebody else. There's 4 players alive. He's planting in front of CT, which is where the rotate's gonna come in from. There's probably a player's site right now. Like, this is such a risky decision. He doesn't end up getting punished for it because he's in bronze, but like it's stuff like this. So I'm like, oh yeah, gotta chill. You just gotta relax a second. Clear the site. Maybe your teammate doesn't die right there. Like, gonna push this Phoenix here. He's gonna get killed on the Phoenix. Not bad. Not bad. Turns around. tries to get into a safe spot. I think he's gonna ulti here. It's an okay. It's not terribly safe, but it's an alright spot. You know, he's gonna run in. Last player alive, gets to kill under the jet. Bomb's not planted for him in tunnels, so it's a little bit of an aggressive position, but does end up getting all the kills. His aim is good. He plays a lot of shooters. Like, he's not a bad shot, but it's just like his mechanics are a little rough. So yeah. Other than that, though, Doc, if you wanna collab sometime, man, I know I'm pretty big, chilling my 30,000 subscribers, you know, no big deal. Kind of a cool streamer, you know? But yeah, if you ever want to hit me up, man, my flip phone is open, as you say. Other than that, guys, I appreciate you watching this video. Subscribe to the channel down below if you learned something, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out.